Hey YouTube, how's it going? Long time no see, at least with the programming videos. So there we go. Today it's what I'm going to be doing. Not going to do any Unity stuff because I don't want to deal with the UI stuff. It's not my jam at the moment at all. So I went back to an old language that I used to learn back in the day, Python. And since then it has upgraded to 3.6, maybe a year ago, I don't know. But with that, there's some new string formatting that has happened, and I think that's super interesting. So I'm going to show you the old way, the new way, and then we're going to apply it to a project so that it can be used in a practical way. So let's go. Let's jump right into it. Boosh. Wow. Transitions. Okay, so this was the old way how to format strings. You put your string followed by a squiggly bracket and then have dot format, put something, and that would be inside the squiggly bracket. So this is say hello world and mom. I love my mom, so you could also use an index value to put, and then in your dot format function you would just put this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. So this would be the quick brown fox, and you can also replace it with variable names, and then your format function just define the variables to be used in the similar way. The new way to do it, Python 3.6, is to define a variable that you want and then put f before your string and hello my dear squiggly bracket and the name of your variable. So we're going to be using that today in a cool, amazing, epic way. We're going to do Tic Tac Toe, something new, isn't it? But in Python, and you're going to see how quick it is and how amazing it is. First thing I'm going to do is just start a list with all default values because we are going to display this list to the user. And we're also going to update it. That's right. And we're going to... You don't need to define types in Python, which I love because it's less hassle. And you can also have different kinds of types in the same list, which can be super useful. Welcome to Tic Tac Toe. \n is a line skip. It's pretty awesome. Close your eyes. Okay, perfect. We can open them now. So now if I print this, we have welcome to Tic Tac Toe. I will add a \n at the beginning of it because it's ugly. Like that. Okay. Awesome. Then you want to display a board. And to do that, I'm going to call this ls. I'm going to call this my list. I made a board.py file because I wanted to use different files. That was something I didn't remember how to do, so there we go. So I'm going to define a function. You do that by typing def display board, and it's going to take an argument inside of it. I want a list. I'll just type in L. You can put it whatever you want. And I will use now the new string formatting that I just learned. Print f space squiggly bracket a divider space squiggly bracket a divider, oops, space squiggly bracket, skip a line, close the string, press plus. Oops, where's my plus? This is just concatenating strings, so putting more than one string back to back. Then a divider line. You can see how it's forming itself. And now here we want to be able to display these numbers or values, which will be numbers or x's and o's, inside in the new formatting way. So I'm going to go L at index 0, then L at index 1, and then L at index 2. So it will take the value and display it. This is boring as balls, so I will just copy the code that I've pre-made, which is exactly the same and has the proper amount of lines. Okay, now that we have that, welcome to Tic Tac Toe. We should also display board with my list inside of it. Now let's run it and see what happens. It doesn't work. Display board is not defined. And you say, well, I mean, you did define it. Yeah, I defined it in board.py, not in game display. So I'm going to have to import it. Import board. And now we're gonna run it and say it's still not defined. That makes sense because it doesn't know, it's trying to find it. So I'm gonna tell you, hey, look in the board file and then run it. And now it displays perfectly like we wanted it to. Everyone's happy. Awesome. Okay, now let's implement some kind of logic. We will say that when a turn is even, X is played. When it's uneven, O is played. So I'm going to have a function called playTurn. And we are going to grab a global turn because I'm going to be editing that. And we are going to get the position that the user wants to play at using the input function from Python. And we say, where would you like to play? And tell him you can only play from 1 to 9. \n. That way, he's going to pick a number here, and that's going to be changed later on. And this, as it is, returns a string. So if I say my list at position string, it's not going to compute. It's not going to work. So I'm going to cast it as an integer to force it. Now, if you are doing this for like a school project or whatever, you need to add a validation for non-digits. Because right now, if you put an A or if you put a percentage sign or whatever, it's gonna break on you. I mean, I can show you. And then what we're gonna do is we are going to add an if statement to see if it's an even or uneven turn. So 2 modulo 0 is 0. That is wrong. If turn modulo 2 is 0, turn modulo 2, right now it's at 0, so that is going to be true. We are going to have my list at position of the user will be X. And we will increment the turn by 1. And then we want to display the new board. Display board, I'm going to put this like that. Now this is just defining a function. It doesn't do anything. And Python reads from up to bottom. So if I put play turn right here, it will know that it can play. If I put play turn before it's been defined, I'll say that function is not defined. So always define stuff before. Or you can put all your functions and definitions in a separate file and import that. Great practice. I recommend it. So let's see if that works. Where would you like to play? Let's put at 5. Oh, look what happened. 6 got altered. That is because 5, the list starts at 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is actually 6. So you want the position -1. Let's see if that has worked. 5 has been changed. Brilliant. Now you want to add the same thing, but for O. So the else statement, else if is elif. So turn modulo 2 is not equal to 0. Oh, is, you could have had equal if you wanted. It works as well. Python is very cool for that. I'm just going to copy and paste and say, now if it's uneven, I'm going to play 0. And make sure nothing's broken. Oh, wait a second. Something did break. Yes. My board was inside my else statement. See the indentation? Boom, bring it back 1 step. Indentation is very important in Python. The same way that this function stops here, so this is not part of it. This is part of it. There we go. So now it's actually going to do something. 5 gets played. Hey, how come we can't play O? That's because we haven't defined a multiple turn type thing. So super easy. Check this out. While turn is less than 10, play turn. So now we can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want someone to win, so 6, 8, 9. And this is wrong because you see, someone has won but hasn't said, hey, someone won. Oh, and this should be 9, not 10, as I just found out. Booyah. So now we need to implement a win condition. So we're going to go in this validation file and define a validate board function that's going to take a list. I'm going to call it K just so that we can remember that it doesn't matter what you put in here. It can be whatever. I'm going to say this is going to return a true or false and check if someone has won or not. So winner equals false. By default, it will be at false. Then I'm going to say if K at position 0 is the same as K at position 1, which is the same as K at position 2, winner equals true. And at the end of this function, notice the indentation change, we're going to return winner. I'm going to keep doing this for every single line, and this is boring as balls, so there we go. Don't want to waste your time. This is going to be L, but you know, L, K, it really doesn't matter. You can name it Tits McGee if you want. A-okay. So, since we want to use it, we got to import it. Import validations. And here we're going to say has won equals validations dot validate winner with my list as the argument. And since this is not going to have a true or a false statement in it, we're going to say if has won, so if true, we're going to print someone has won, \n, and we're going to break. Break means we're going to break out of this while. While is just going to keep running until, you know, we're not at 9. And since I don't have something at the bottom here, it will just stop my code as well. So let's see if that works, shall we? Let's make X win, so 1, 4, and 7. Someone has won, woohoo! Now let's make Owen. Owen. 2, 5, and 8. Oops, I blocked him. So now we're gonna go 3 and oh. No one has won. Why does it say someone has won? That's very interesting. Which means one of my variables is broken from here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's one diagonal. 0. Can I have this open? 0, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 0, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 5, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. And then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, this is my mistake. It should be 2, not 3. So now it says, hey, someone has won, but no one has won. So 2. Great stuff. Debugging. So we wanted O to win. 2, 5, 8. Someone has won. Woohoo! So there you have it. Python. Tic Tac Toe for Python without any validations here at the user input, without any draw mechanic, and without any rematch or whatever. And this is the new format function that I hope you understood. It's pretty cool. Lots of uses. So There you go, tic-tac-toe in 10 minutes. Hope you learned something useful, because I certainly did.